April 1995. Still a picture framer. I'm going to be a picture framer for a long time. I'm still relatively new at it, though, at this point in my life. Nothing else I can remember going on. So let's just get to the books, and it wasn't many. Must have been concentrating on the picture framing, because I only read 4 books in April of 1995, and the first one was Prelude to Foundation by Isaac Asimov. This was the first of 2 prequels to his Foundation series, and it takes place in 12,020 GE. I don't remember what that GE stands for. I assume it's like Galactic Empire or something like that. But way, way, way in the future. And there's a monarch, I guess, on the throne. Cleon the First, something like that. He's worried about the future. Afraid he's going to be deposed. And Harry, whatever his name is, comes along with his psychohistory theory paper, whatever it is, that can predict the future, and sort of puts himself in danger because now Cleon wants this. I think it's been a long time, obviously, since I read it, but it's Isaac Asimov. It's part of Foundation. It's fantastic. I really dig all the Foundation books. Next up, we have Voodoo River by Robert Crace. It's an Elvis Cole novel. Elvis being a private eye, and he's hired by this TV star who wants him to find her birth parents. And so he goes down to Louisiana, and of course things aren't what they seemed to be at first. Bodies start turning up, and perhaps the person that hired him wasn't as open and honest and forthcoming as she may have been. Robert Crace, good stuff. A series that I fell out of reading and really should catch up on, because I really dig the Elvis Cole books, and I always like to see he's a PI in Los Angeles, I believe, and it's always fun to see characters doing the whole fish out of water thing. Book number 3, Q Squared by Peter David. This is a Star Trek The Next Generation book. As usual, or at least the way I see it, Peter David likes to take stuff from older episodes of Star Trek, other episodes of Star Trek, incorporate them into his original novels. And so in this one, Q comes to Picard looking for help because one of the Q continuum have accumulated some source of power that makes this being stronger than the entire Q continuum. And this being goes by the name Trelane, also known as the Squire of Gothos, which was a character from Star Trek, the original series. So Kirk and Spock ran into this character. I feel like they were played by Liberace. I could be completely wrong about that. But the Peter David's Star Trek books are always fun. And as I said, I love that he incorporates things from older episodes or older series and sort of takes these things that are kind of standalone, maybe didn't make much sense. I haven't seen this episode, the original series episode, in ages. And he incorporates them into the wider Star Trek universe. And then finally, All Our Yesterdays by Robert B. Parker. This is one of his rare standalone novels. It's not part of the Spencer series or the Jesse Stone series or the Sunny, whatever her last name is, series. And this is basically about 3 generations of a family in Boston. Let me look at my notes. It is the Sheridan family, and I believe the main character is Gus, who is the top homicide detective in Boston, and his father is Con, and he was a lawless cop. I don't know if that necessarily means crooked cop, or just a cop that broke the rules versus like a cop on the take or anything. It's been a while since I read it. Again, obviously, so I don't remember the details. But then you have Chris, Gus's son, who is a Harvard lawyer and a criminologist. And so you just have this multi-generational story with clashing family members, all set in Boston. And it's Robert B. Parker. So 9 times out of 10, it's going to be fantastic. That's it. That is all that I read in April of 1995. My question for you is related to that Robert B. Parker book. If you have an author that writes a series and you're a fan of that series, how do you feel when they put out a standalone book or something that's different than what they're usually doing? As I said, Robert B. Parker basically had 3 series that I can think of. Well, he had some westerns too that I think may have been a small western series. But mainly 3 series. Every once in a while you get these little standalone novels. Excuse me. Walter Mosley might be best known for the Easy Rollins series, but he has plenty of stuff that just sort of stands on its own. I think he might have some other little series as well, but also some standalone stuff. I like to see authors expanding their boundaries as much as I might, let's say, with Robert B. Parker when he was alive. You know, I was always looking forward to the next Spencer book, but if he wanted to put out something that was different, I'm going to pick it up and read it. I want to see him, as I said, expand his boundaries. So what are your thoughts? There's another one. Is it? Oh. I can't remember if it's Robert Crace or if it's someone who had like a private detective series that wrote some standalone stuff. One was made into a movie that I cannot remember the name of. But anyway, I like to see authors do something different. And you know, if they never go back to the series that made them popular or that I loved, yeah, it hurts a little. I take it a little personally. It breaks my heart a little bit. But hey, I'm going to support the authors I like no matter what they're doing. Well, you know, unless they join the KKK. But we're talking about their writing. What do you think? Do you just want to stick with that series, or do you want to see them try something else? Let me know in the comments below. Hopefully that question makes sense. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. Try to be polite here on my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. And, excuse me, a little dry in the throat. If you care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is ErikSmith5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH5757. You know, that's all I've got for you this week. So until next week, read more books.